The voice actors for RanRan, RinRin and TenTen uploaded a video today where they played Starleap. They showed off some new gameplay of the RanRin 10 and Varkas and Sidonia boss fights, as well as some story from Rockland. I'm not going to show any of that. I want to focus on the gacha aspect, as they spent several minutes doing 60 gacha pulls and they revealed quite a few new characters. Some of the characters they pulled raised many questions, and I can't wrap my head around the rarities of some of these characters. So let's not waste time and dive in. I'm going to go through it in the order they summon the characters, and we'll talk through it as we go. As many suspected, Vicky is responsible for summoning the gacha characters. She calls the stars down from the heavens. Characters have three forms of rarity: R, SR and SSR. You can generally tell what you're pulling from the coloured glow around them as the stars are falling. R characters have a white glow around them, SR characters have a gold glow around them, and SSR have a rainbow glow around them. You can get dupes of characters, but I'm not exactly sure what happens if you get a dupe, as nothing was revealed in the video. Anyway, first up is Chipu from Suikoden 4. He's an R rarity, so he'll be a common pull. Can't imagine there's too many Chipu fans out there. Next up is Vincent the Bull, another R rarity. He'll be another common pull for many people, but you already knew he'd be there from previous streams Konami have done. Next is Gen. This one took me by surprise. Gen is, let's be honest, a garbage tier combat character in Suikoden 1, and he's not that popular. Making him an SSR is an odd choice. I couldn't wrap my head around this one when I first saw it. I thought it made no sense, but then I thought surely they'll be doing variants of characters. Then we have a blue turtle. People have been speculating it's Geno since it was first revealed and are still saying it's Geno now. This is not Geno. The first character of his name is different and he's blue instead of grey with completely different facial hair. He's a completely original character. His name is Gono, G-O-N-O-H. He's another R rarity, so he'll be another common pull. I am quite surprised to see a new original character as a gacha pull though. Then they pulled Mies, another R rarity. He, along with the rest of the blacksmiths, will no doubt be there to fluff out the R pulls. I'm sure a lot of you will be thrilled to see Nina's design in Starleap, and she looks even cuter than she did in Suikoden 2. Her being an R tier will make you happy too, as you should have no difficulty pulling her. Then there was Vincent and Nina again. Next was Ladon. I bet you're all ecstatic at the thought of having this clown in your party. Another R tier, so there'll probably be no avoiding pulling him. Then there's Kika. We already knew about her from the first reveals, but she looks incredible. She's an SSR, a highly popular character, and she makes a lot more sense to be an SSR than Gen. And if you look towards the bottom of the screen, you'll see plus 10 points. I'm not entirely sure what these points are for. They could possibly be a pity system of sorts, where after you get a certain number of points, you get a guaranteed chance at an SSR, or it could be something else entirely. That's the first of their 10 pulls. Vicky also has a different animation this time before she summons the next batch. She accidentally teleports away in typical Vicky fashion. First up in the second batch is Hicks. He's an SR, he looks fantastic, and no doubt he's one many of you will hope to get. Gono, Mies and Gono again. Next up is George Prime. Some of you were hoping he'd be part of the 108 Stars of Destiny, but it was already confirmed he was a gacha character. In the latest footage he's shown as an SR rank, but in earlier footage from last year he was an SSR. This raises some questions. Will every character have variants of different rarities? It's possible, but so far it seems unlikely, as many dupes were pulled during this gameplay and we never saw different rarities for the same character. Will we be able to use dupes to upgrade a character's tier and make them more powerful? Or have they simply downgraded him from SSR to SR, as the earlier footage was labelled with a not final game footage warning? I hope we can upgrade them with dupes, because I need an SSR Crin in my team. Next up is Humphrey with a Starleap design, which confirms the Liberation Army members will not be Stars of Destiny in Starleap, and they'll all have to be attained through gacha. He is an SR, so he'll be a somewhat rare, harder to pull character. Mies again. Tengar, she looks incredible. One of my favourite characters and mages in the entire series. She's an SSR, she'll be quite hard to attain, very rare. Then there's RanRan, she's an R rarity. I have to admit, I'm slightly disappointed RanRan, RinRin and TenTen are gacha characters. I fully expected them to be Stars of Destiny in this game, but at least they're commons, so you shouldn't have any difficulty pulling them. Next we've got Retso, who's an SR rarity, and that's the second batch of 10 pulls. Starting their third batch of pulls, they got Mass, another blacksmith from Suikoden 1 who's an R rarity. He'll again be a common pull for people. Vincent again. Next was Tasai, the blacksmith from Suikoden 2. He's another R rarity, so again he'll be a common pull. RinRin, R rarity, another common pull. Then they skipped the rest of the pulls and jumped to the end of this batch, which annoyed me. Top right and bottom left are both Melody. At first I thought this was two variants of Melody, but it's just her doing different poses. Some other characters you'll see dupes of throughout this video will also have different poses. You may also notice Odessa at the bottom right. She's an SR, and beside her, Craze. Yes, that's right, Commander Craze of the Imperial Guard. I'll talk more about him in a moment. Starting their fourth batch of pulls is Craze. I swear to God, when I spend money on this game, if I pull Craze, I'm throwing hands. But the interesting thing about Craze being here is that it confirms that it won't only be Stars of Destiny and the good guys from previous games in the gacha pulls. This opens up so many possibilities. We could eventually see Barbarossa, Luca Blight, or Tri. We could see all manners of bad guys, villains, and antagonists from the series added at some point. So while I'm certain we're all groaning in disgust at Craze being there, think of the bigger picture of him being there and what it means for who could potentially appear in the future. RinRin, Nina, Chipu again. Next is Kuroku, everyone's favourite pup from Suikoden 3. Another R rarity, he'll be a common pull. George Prime again, and then Odessa. Odessa and Humphrey being gacha characters all but confirms that Flick and Victor will be too. Then there's Tuta, who we already knew about for quite a while, he's an R rarity. Praise again, please burn at the stake. And that was the fourth batch of pulls. Starting their fifth batch of pulls is Kuroku again. Then we have Grady, your favourite sleazy tax thief. I know we're all groaning again just like we did with Craze, but again, think of the possibilities. With some of the bad guys appearing as gacha characters, it opens the door for all bad guys to appear as gacha characters. He's an R rarity, so sadly he'll be a common pull and there may be no avoiding him. RinRin again, and then they jumped ahead to the end of the pulls, where it shows that Sanchez and IK from Suikoden 1 will also be gacha characters. They'll both be SR rarity. Then the sixth and final batch of gacha pulls. Mies, Gono, and Nina again. Lucerina Barrows, you heard me, Lucerina, one of the most beloved characters in Suikoden 5 will be making an appearance. Sadly, she is an SSR rarity, so she'll be quite difficult to attain, but I'm sure many of you will be happy to try. Then there's TenTen with a rather dangerous pose. And then we got my boy Muku Muku. He's even more adorable than ever. He's so freaking cute and I want him. Luckily he's an R rarity, so he'll be very easy to pull. Now I need the rest of the squirrels to complete the squad. Kuroku and RinRin again. Then to wrap things up we got Sergeant Joe, who we already knew about, but he isn't called Sergeant Joe here. This seems to be a younger version of him who goes by his full name of Jordi, and he's described as a mercenary. He's an SR rarity. There you have it, that's the look at the gacha aspect of the game. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the greatest Suikoden character of all time in the gacha pulls yet. There was no love shown for my boy Krin, but I've got my hopes up we'll see him soon. Some of the rarities made very little sense to me. I still can't wrap my head around Gen being an SSR unless there's going to be different variants of characters with their own rarities and different powers. And yeah, it sucks to see that people like Craze and Grady are R rarities and will likely be an unavoidable pull. But their inclusion makes it exciting to think about the possibilities of bigger, better villains potentially being added. What did you guys think about the gacha pulls so far? Let me know your thoughts. Was there anybody that got you excited to see? Is there anyone you hope appears? Thanks for watching and I'll catch you on the next one.